Hey guys, what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Wip Chat. If you're new to diamond painting, Wip stands for work in progress, and chat is, I'm just gonna flap my gums and tell you all about my week. So how are you guys doing? I hope you are doing fabulous and having a marvelous day, right? Right. So, before I get started, just a couple little things. Just a small plug. I am a Treasure Studios Arts affiliate. If you use the code, I think it's Naomi 10. If it's not 10, it's 15. I'll have it linked down in the description box. If you want to check that out, you can save yourself some money. If you're thinking of ordering a TSA, I do make a little tiny small plug on it. I also have Buy Me a Coffee that I'll have linked down below in the description as well. And just any money I get from that, I just put it back into the channel. You do not have to do that at all. Just watching means more to me than you will ever know. So, let's see. Where did we start off? So last week wasn't really, oh, my bad. Look, there I go. You gotta be like, knock, 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 Naomi. Hello. I will be using my Chroma diamond art pen, as well as my Munimade tray. I am working on Lips of Morphine by Mandie Manzano from Diamond Art Club. It is a discontinued painting, so I won't have it linked down in the description box, but you might be able to maybe find it on like a destashing site. Maybe somebody hasn't worked on it. They have it in their stash. You never know. So, yeah. Okay. So this week was not as eventful as last week was. I don't know, this last week, it's just been kind of like strange almost. Like, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, work has, I mean, for the most part, work has been okay. There was one little hiccup where, I had to, kind of politely, well, I started to tell a builder where to go and how to get there, and drew him a map and pointed him in the direction and emailed it freaking over to him. But we will get into that. So let's see. So last Thursday, so if you guys are new, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. You guys amaze me. But anyway, if you're new, I record my Wip Chat videos on Wednesday and I load them on Thursday. So last Thursday, I went to work and nothing really uneventful. You know what I mean? I think I got all this stuff done for the accountant. So I always feel like rushed, and I feel like I'm being, like, I just can't get anything done. And I think that's why this last week has just kind of been like, it's just, it's nice. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Before we start picking back up again and getting crazy. And yeah, so I will take it and not complain. But yeah, I think that's maybe why work has been, like, I feel like it's just like off. Like, it's just like, I feel like I'm constantly, like, I'm forgetting to do something. I'm like, what's going on? But, let me hush my mouth before that gets out of control. So, but yeah, so Thursday, I went to work. Nothing really exciting to, write home about. I saw my youngest son. I gave him his clothes. Oh, crap-a-diddly-do. I forgot to go over this weekend and pick up some more of his clothes. Oops. That just means more stinky laundry this weekend, right? Right. And I don't mind doing his clothes for him, you know what I mean? It's little things. You know, I still kind of feel like I'm his mama by doing his clothes. They grow way too fast. Way too fast. But yeah, so and that was basically Thursday. I just worked, saw my son, gave him his clothes, and came home and diamond painted. Like, it's really more or less how my week's been going. I mean, there has been, you know, little things, you know, here and there throughout the week. And I was smart. I did take notes this time, guys. You would be so proud of me. I'm proud of me. But, so yeah, that was, and then Friday. I get a call. If you're new to the channel, and if you're not, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. I had to put a lien out on this guy's property that, you know, he still owed us $8,000 on an invoice, you know, being dated back from like September of 2020. We are now in February. I'm sorry. It was dated September of 2021. We are now in February of, you know, 2022. So I started this whole dang thing like basically almost like the last week of December, and then, you know, all that, and it's fun. Let's just say it's fun, and it's something that I hope I never have to do again. So this guy, like, and I don't know what his problem is, like who he thinks he's talking to. I know he's married, and I really hope he don't talk to his wife like the way he talks to me, because every single time I have to deal with him, and this is even before we put a lien on the property, every single time I have to deal with this guy, he gives me like a hard time. And I always just bite my tongue, and I'm just like, be professional, Naomi. Be professional. That flew out the freaking window on Friday. We'll just say that. So he didn't even bother to call my boss, right? He calls me up, and he's screaming and yelling because he's supposed to open this gym. And guess what? He can't open it with the lien on the property. And I mean, and he's like ripping me a new a-hole. And I'm being nice now. Like in my head, I wanted to tell him, you know, where to go, how to get there. And I kind of like eventually did. Because yeah, he didn't see that one coming. He's only just, you know, dealt with the, even though when I say like this is the, so since I've been with the company, this is the second job we have done for them, but I guess the third, but since the company's been around, it's like the third one that they've done. The first one went fine. The second one, oh, when I say, I think it was like almost a year after, and we finally were able to collect all the money from him, because he'd tell my boss, oh, I'll call your girl and give her the credit card payment. And he would call me up, and I'd be like, okay, you know, well, there's a credit card processing fee. It's 3.4%. And it's not, you know, I'm not making that up. That's what QuickBooks charges us. You know, we don't make any money off of it. We're just basically, you know, charging you the percent that QuickBooks charges us. And he would give me a hard time about it. And he'd be like, well, I'll send a check, you know, and 2-3 weeks would go by and the check wouldn't come. And, you know, because God forbid, couldn't go pick it up, right? No, let's not go pick it up. Because I don't know why. He would always say he would mail it. So, I mean, we went back and forth. I mean, like I said, like it took about a year to get the final payment. And it was me having to call from a different phone number that he didn't know. You know, me tricking him to get, you know, the last payment. So, you know, and we were still kind of like getting our like feet wet and learning that, you know, you only have so many days after you start the job that you can file the notice to owner. And the notice to owner is just saying, hey, you know, like if we don't get paid, we're gonna lien your property. And, you know, there's only, when I first started, it was pretty bad. But we didn't know all the dates. And then, basically, you got to file the notice to owner first after so many days. And then, once you file the notice to owner, you have so many days after you stop the job to file the lien. Yeah. So when I say this is like a royal freaking pain in the butt to do, like it's a royal pain in the butt. The notice to owner, not so much. But the like filing the lien and all that, it's a royal pain in the butt. I learned it's also a royal pain in the butt to get the satisfaction of liens, right? Saying that, yep, the person paid, you can take it off the court records. So anyway, he must have gotten it, or his like business partners in New York must have gotten it, because yeah, he was supposed to open this gym last Saturday, and guess what happened? It didn't open because he didn't pay. Well, I mean, he did eventually pay, but not in enough time for me to be able to file the satisfactions of lien and get it to him before Saturday. So he's like ripping me a new a-hole. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking in my head, like, well, you know, like that's not my problem. Like, if you just would have paid your freaking bill, like if you wouldn't make it such a hassle to get the money off of you on a job that's done, like you're getting ready to open it and you still owe us $8,000. Like, no, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. So when he's like screaming and yelling at me, you know, saying like this is a problem, and at that point I had just had enough. And he got to meet the side of Naomi that, as much as I'm sweet and loving and caring, there is a whole nother side to me that, like, I will tell you, I am a B with a capital B. Like, I don't play. So he's screaming and yelling at me, and he's like, and then basically what did it was, he's like, this is a problem that you lien this property. I got 200 people showing up and I can't open the doors. At that point, I couldn't bite my tongue anymore, and it slipped out. That's not my problem. If you just would have paid your bill, we wouldn't be here. He didn't really like that too much and said a couple choice words. I then proceeded to turn around to him and tell him that you're not my boss. I don't work for you, and I'm doing what my boss tells me to do. And that's when I realized I need to hang up the phone before I, you know, kind of really tell him where to go, because I'm like, no, Naomi, you still need to be professional. Like, you really shouldn't even be screaming at this dude on the phone. But at the same time, I'm like, you get what you give. Like, if I'm at work, you know what I mean, and you want to be nasty, I mean, I'll be nice, but there's still like a little nastiness to me. So yeah. So, but like, do that outside of work. Like, I'm not getting paid to be nice. No, you get what you give, and it's real easy. Like, if you want to be mean and nasty, oh, sweetheart, I can be mean and nasty, like, and have your head spinning because you won't see it freaking coming. Like, you won't. There was another builder. Well, he he works for one of our builders, and it's like when I first came down here a couple years ago, he called up and, you know, thought he was going to be, you know, a dick monster, and he learned real quick, like, I'm not the one. Like, you're not going to talk to me like some freaking idiot, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're signing my checks, unless you're my boss, no, like, you don't get the right to talk to me like that, and I'll tell you. So, I hung up the phone with him, and I called my boss up, and I'm like, hey, guess who I just heard from? And I told him, and he was like, oh, you know, well, what does he have to say? And he was like, oh, speak of the devil, he's calling me now. So I was like, well, look, I'm just going to tell you. Because this dude, like, and I really think it has to do with me being a female. Because when he's on the phone with my boss, he does not. He's all nice as can be. Yep, I'll get that done. Like, doesn't give my boss a hard time at all. He calls me, or I have to call him, and it's like all of a sudden, you know, he thinks he's got these big giant kahunas, and I'm like, no, buddy, I'll deflate your kahunas and show you mine are bigger. Like, I'm not the one, sweetheart. No. So, yeah, he found that out, and, so, you know, I basically told my boss, you know, like, what happened, and basically, like, I had the notarized copy of the satisfaction of liens, and I was willing to email that over to him, and I told him, you know what I mean, like, I'm just waiting, because we use this company to, like, file it through the courts and all that. And that was another thing. He was like, you know, he was like, you guys make yourself out to be, you know, a mom and pop, you know, but you can afford somebody to do your liens for you. Yeah, because to file the NTO, to file the lien, and to get the satisfaction of lien, it was 50, 80, I don't know, maybe like, I'm kind of like rounding here, so I'd say like $120 to $130. Yeah, you're damn right. It is worth that $120 to $130, because we're not losing $8,000, you know, and that was the problem before, where we weren't, you know, getting NTOs or doing stuff, you know, and these builders were taking advantage of it because they knew there was nothing we could do. So, yeah, it got real interesting. So anyway, I told my boss, you know, everything that happened, and he was like, okay, he's like, well, let me call him back, you know, and my boss kind of like told him about himself, and my boss calls me back, and he's like, yep, he's like, well, he's going to be calling, and he's going to be on his best behavior to give you the credit card payment. And I'm like, okay, and I told him, I was like, look, I was even willing to send him over, you know what I mean, like showing, like, hey, okay, we got this notarized, I sent this over, you know, I'm just waiting, you know, to get it back from, like, basically the company we use, that they file it through the courts, and the courts have to, you know, do the satisfaction and take it off, because, yeah, no, I mean, like, when I say you put a lien on a property, that person can't do much. And the fact that he hadn't opened yet and we put the lien on it, he wasn't able to open. Not my problem, you know what I mean? Not when you were invoiced back in September and you had 30 days to pay it. So technically, you know, you really had since October to pay this. And even if he would have paid it, you know what I mean? Like, okay, here's $2,000 here, here's $5,000 here, all right, here's the other $3,000. That would have been fine, but to not pay it at all, no, buddy, we don't play them reindeer games around here anymore. You got the wrong people. And I guess, you know what I mean, I guess he thought he was gonna get away with it, and nope. But let's just say the guy was on his best behavior when he called and made the credit card payment. And then he, you know, kind of started getting a little snippy. you know, asking when he would get his release. And I said, as soon as I get it, have a great day. Click. Well, I got it on Tuesday because, I mean, I might have taken his credit card payment, done a couple of other things, taken my lunch break, you know, and yeah, so he wound up calling my boss, and he was being a, you know, a dick monster, and again, and my boss sent him over, you know, like the part where my boss went and got it notarized saying, okay, yes, he's paid. But like I said, it hadn't been like fully finalized through the court yet. So, not my problem. And yeah, like I said, I'm just, and I told my boss, like, I was like, I will never, I'm like, if you ever do work for him ever again, I'm like, I will not type up that proposal. I will not order that job. I will not send the invoice out. I'm like, and I refuse to collect money from that dude. Because when I say he's all, oh yeah, no problem, I'll get that payment, you know, to my boss. But then when I get on the phone, it's always, I mean, always something. Like he's got, I mean, and he knows, like, and at one point during this whole thing, he even called the office in Pennsylvania thinking that, like, we don't talk to each other. And I'm like, yeah, nah, me and that girl in the office, we're like this, all right? Like, don't. And because I even told her, I was like, you know, I'm like, he's probably going to call, and asked for a release, She was like, well, you know, even if he did, she was like, I would tell him, you know what I mean? Like, we're in Pennsylvania. You're going to have to call them. They're in Florida. I kid you not, guys. Guess what he did? He called the office in Pennsylvania, you know, just trying to be sneaky. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand. Like, I figured you out, you know what I mean? Like, real quick on the first job I ever had to deal with you on. But yes, but praise the Lord, my boss has agreed that we will never do work for this guy ever again. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care if we need the money. He's like, I won't do it. He's like, because it's literally like trying to pull teeth, trying to get money from this guy. And I mean, my boss is pretty understanding. We've been in this business for a long freaking time, you know, so like he gets it. He's like, you know, he's like, even if he was having, you know, like money problems, he's like, we have all been there, you know, just let me know, you know what I mean? Just communicate, and yeah, no, this dude just likes to, it's one excuse after another. And yeah, I guess his investors up in New York didn't appreciate, because I guess he didn't realize that we were able to, through this company we use, we were able, when we filed the NTO, because when I filed it, I had only put like his company and the name of the business it was going under. The people we use actually found, they were like, oh yeah, no, and there's this people linked to it too, right? So yeah, his investors in New York did not. So I don't think he realized that we had sent the lien, because I had to send it to him, I had to send it to the property, and I had to send it to the investors, certified mail, to, you know, all three people that were under, you know, this address type of thing. So I guess he thought he was going to get away with it, and I guess his investors weren't too happy. Again, not my problem. Pay your bill. Don't be a dick monster. Real simple. So, and then, yeah. And then Saturday, you know, and that was basically like my my Friday more or less, and when I got done work, I diamond painted. And then I stayed up, and I usually stay up late on Fridays anyway. And so I stay up late. I wound up waking up at 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. I'm like, I mean, I might sleep in, but I don't usually sleep in like that. And yeah, I was like, whew. And honestly, like, I felt like I probably could have laid down and gone back to sleep. And I guarantee you, I probably would have. Like, if I didn't have Roscoe and I didn't have to get up and take him out, I probably would have slept most of Saturday away. Like, more of Saturday away than I already did. And I remember, like, I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby and I'm going to... Nope, that didn't happen. And then Sunday, I was just lazy, kind of like sack of potatoes. I slept until, it was like almost like around 1:30 as well on Sunday. And I even have like alarms set on the weekends where, like, so that way, like, even because, like I said, I know I stay up later on like Friday and Saturday nights to watch like different people's lives. So I'll set an alarm. So I'm like, I'm at least up at, you know, a somewhat decent time on Saturday and Sunday. So, nope. I woke up. So Sunday I woke up to my mama calling me. And, or no, what's it? No, I didn't wake up to my mama calling me. I woke up to a missed call from my mama. And I called her back, and she was on the phone with my Uncle Bob. And she wound up, like, doing it as a three-way call. And, let's just say, during that phone conversation, I think I figured out, like, where I get my I don't give a crap attitude from and all of that. Yep, definitely. So, and I realized, like, where I get my crazy from, like, I get it. Honest, ladies and gentlemen, some of the stuff that was coming out of my Uncle Bob and my mom's mouth, I was like, I hope nobody's listening to this. We could probably get ourselves into some trouble here. Yeah, let's just say it was not very good, right? So, but yeah. And then, so I got off the phone with my mom and my uncle, and I just kind of like cleaned up a little bit, made something to eat, and then it was time, you know, to watch the lives that I watch on Sunday. And let me tell you, if you missed, I cannot believe it's butter. Good gravy, what is wrong with me? If you missed, You Can Call Me Butter's live on Sunday, you need to go and rewatch it. Now, I will warn you, do not, and I mean do not, eat or drink anything during that hour. You will probably at some point spit it out, choke on it, whatever it is. You have been warned. But when I say it was hysterical. Now, if you don't care for like some inappropriateness, you know, maybe that's not for you. But when I say like I was rolling, I probably lost a good 5 pounds. Like at some points I was laughing so hard, like I could barely breathe. Tears were coming down my face. Like it was good. So yeah, that was Sunday. And then Monday, I woke up and, okay, sorry about that. My tripod was like, whoop, going down again. I had to quick fix that. So where was I? Monday. So Monday I woke up and I had work, and I'm not usually like a fan of Mondays, but what gets me going is it's payday. So I'm like, woohoo, I don't want to get up, but it's payday, yay! And I go to sit down and I'm doing my work and I look up at the calendar and I realize it was President's Day. The banks were closed. What in the good gravy? I'm like, no, that ain't fair. You tricked me Monday. You tricked me into thinking, you know, I was getting paid. So I think like my Monday just kind of like felt a little off because everything, you know, was closed. So it was like, I mean, I got all the stuff done that I needed to get done, but it was like, I felt like I had like extra time on Monday that I don't usually have, because I didn't have to run to the bank, and that's fun. I'll tell you all about the bank. But first, let me tell you about my spaghetti catastrophe. So Monday I was like, you know, I'm hungry. You know, I'll make something to eat for lunch. So, you know, I ground up the ground beef and I cooked the noodles and I had the sauce. Now, if you know where I'm going with this, you can only imagine. I had the sauce in the pan, sitting on the stove. It was on low, you know, just kind of trying to heat it up. And I sat down at my desk and I started doing something and I totally forgot about this sauce that was on the stove until I heard this like pop, and I'm like, what the hell is that? So I go to look. And I kid you not, like, the spaghetti sauce just, like, exploded freaking everywhere. Everywhere. It was on the stove. It was on the microwave above the stove. It was on the counter. It was on the floor. It was on the ceiling. It was on the refrigerator. I'm pretty sure some I know some flew out of because where my office is, it's like where my dining room was, and there's like this cut out, like hole that you can see in with like a little counter. And it's the same on the other side. So it's like my dining room, my kitchen, and my living room, but there's two like countertop, that you can eat at. It flew over, and like, I'm pretty sure I will be finding the remnants of this exploding spaghetti sauce for quite some time. So tell me, have you ever, you know, had your spaghetti sauce explode out of the pot on the stovetop because you forgot it? Or have you ever been cooking something and you forgot about it and burn it? Because I've done that one too, right? That's not fun. And it's usually, you know, like you're starving and you can't wait for that to get done, and you somehow forget about it. And this damn dog, y'all, he just needs to like lay his butt down. I apologize. He's making the tripod bounce because he's a pain in the tobookus. If you're new to the channel, the pain in the tobookus is Mr. Roscoe P. Jenkins. He is a Cocker Spaniel puppy. He is 3 years old. He'll be 4 in April, and I love him to pieces, but some days he is just like, oh, he is bad. And he's been pretty bad here recently. Like, I keep catching him like trying to eat stuff off my plate, or it's like the plate will be empty and I just have it like sitting there, and I'll get up to walk away and I'll come back and he's like thinks it's for him, and I'm like, oh, no. And he knows, because he'll see me coming and like he runs and will like hide. It's like if I said, you know, let me clean your ears and I pull out the ear cleaning solution. He wants no parts of me and will literally like hide because he knows he's not allowed to do that. He don't care though. That's Roscoe P. Jenkins. Gives zero fluffs about anything. But where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, but down in the comments, you know, leave, have you ever exploded spaghetti sauce, you know, in the saucepan off of your stove? Did it look like a massacre in your kitchen? Because that's what it looked like in my kitchen. I'm like, we need some crime scene detectives here. Like, I'm gonna need like the cleaning crew that you use for the crime scene detectives. Like, yep, we're gonna need that. And then yesterday, so yesterday was Tuesday, and I go to the bank and I decided, I'm like, let me go through the drive-through because the bank that I normally go to, their lobby has been closed, so I've been going to this different bank, but now the lobby's open, and usually with the drive-through, you get in, you get out. Oh, no ma'am, not yesterday. I literally sat and did not move for 20 minutes in the same spot in that line. I got irritated. I pulled around. I go into the bank. That was like another 20 minutes. Like, and the lady, like, and it was a new teller. And she's like, she was like, I went to, because what I do is I deposit my check, and obviously I sign the back of my check. Everybody else's check, they have a stamp that they use to stamp it. So she's like giving me a hard time because I don't have my ATM card on me. I never use my ATM card. I fill out the deposit slip. And this lady's like, and one of the other tellers who knows me, like, she could tell. She was like, oh, I need to step in before she cusses this lady out. And she told her, she was like, nah, she was like, they don't need, you know, the debit card. You know, she's got it written on the deposit, and she walks away. And like the lady starts again. She was like, well, how am I supposed to deposit it? I'm like, the account number is on the deposit slip. Type it in. Like, I've never worked at a bank, but come on, it's not freaking rocket science, lady. Like, just type it the hell in. Like, stop being a lazy freaking sack of potatoes and do your job. Like, and I was already irritated because I literally sat in the drive-through line for 20 minutes and didn't move. And like I said, I was able to get like out and around the parking lot to go in, but then stand in line for another 20 minutes. Like, I was over it, like straight up over it, done. You can kiss my butt. Like, at this point, I'm just going to drive further and go to the other Wells Fargo that I was going to, because you know what? Their customer service is a lot better. They're nicer. They're friendlier. Like that, because I'm like, I can't guarantee that if I don't go in there and I get that dumb broad again, like, I don't know. I'm just, maybe I need a vacation or something, because when I say, like, here lately, like, I cannot keep my mouth shut. Like, or usually I might think it, but it doesn't actually come out of my mouth. Oh, it's coming out of my mouth now. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't good, right? Not good. So then, you know, I went home and I finished doing my reports and all of that good stuff. And then today, it's just a really strange day, like just very quiet at work, and I'm not going to complain because I'll take it. You know what I mean? I will just take it for what it is and not complain, because when the days are busy, I'll look back and go, wait, do you remember that one day when you just kind of sat around with your thumb up your butt? Yeah, but on that busy day, I'll be like, can I please have that day back where I just sat around with my thumb up my butt? I tell you guys, I swear, we're never, At least, you know, at least me, it's like I'm never satisfied. That is probably why I'm single, and men get on my nerves, and I don't have a lot of patience. Like, I don't know, at least when it comes to dating, because I've been like thinking about like maybe, you know, giving the dating world another try again. And if you're new to the channel, go back and listen to some whipping chats. And whew, let me tell you, when I say I can freaking pick them, good gravy. Like, whew. Yeah. So, but I've been thinking about that, but then I'm like, you know, Naomi, you just might be better off single because you can be mean. And I'm like, well, you know, they weren't freaking stupid. Like, I don't know. I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year. I don't have time. I don't have time for your BS. You know what I mean? At this age, you should have your stuff together. Like, I'm sorry. I don't have time to hold your hand and be your mommy. Like, nope. Sorry. Like, if you have mommy issues, go find somebody else because I'm not the one. Like, nope. I will not be your mommy. Like, the closest I'll be to your mommy is I'll be screaming at you, you know, telling you you're a dumb freaking idiot. Like, that's about it. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just, like I said, I don't have a good choice in men. But your reason, like, it doesn't really get too far because I'm like, no. Like, I'm good. Or they just disappear off the face of the earth, and that's probably because I'm mean. Like, like I said, I don't have time to waste time. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, that's not meaning like I'm like, oh, I just met you, let's go get married, you know? Hells no. Hell no. I ain't freaking getting married. Like, no. You went and bumped your freaking head if you think that. Like, no. Like, I don't know. Like, when I was younger, you know, I was like, oh, I want to get married and have the white picket fence and da-da-da-da-da. Now I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I've just been, like, single for too long that I just like my independence. Like, I don't have to consider somebody else's feelings. Like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Where, I mean, if I'm in a relationship and I want to do something, I'm going to do it anyway. You can tell me no. Or you think you can tell me no. And after some of the relationships I've been in the past, tell me no. Tell me no and see what happens. Because I guarantee you, you tell me I can't do it or you want to just be an a-hole. Nope. I will tell you, like, I will show you, like, I will be that petty and do it just because you said no, because you thought you could control me. Like, nope, you are not. I don't know. I did that one time for 5.5 years. I let some man control me. Never the hell again. It will not happen. Like, Jesus himself could come down and be like, Naomi, just do this and you will have all the riches in the land. I'd be like, nope, I'm sorry, God. Like, I can't be doing that. I'm sorry. Just send me to downstairs. You know what I mean? Because nope. Like, I've worked too hard to bring my self-esteem back up after, you know, some man basically, like, controlled me and made me lose my self-worth. Like, nope. And I think that's also why I might be a little, like, I don't know. I'm very stubborn and set in my ways. That's just me. I don't know what else to say about that. But honestly, guys, that's really been my week. Nothing really exciting happened, you know, besides that dumb builder thinking, you know, he knew or he thought he was going to tell me And he learned real quick. I'm not the one. But with that said, guys, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!